What if I told you that the secret to standing out in your industry is not by following industry trends, but rather by breaking the mold with unconventional thinking and branding strategies that are uniquely you? Today, in this episode, I'm going to show you just that. Welcome to Purposeful Presence, your go to resource for entrepreneurs ready to elevate your branding and social marketing while staying true to your purpose so that you can attract the customers and opportunities that you deserve. I'm Coach MJ. I'm seasoned entrepreneur, brand strategist, keynote speaker, published author, event producer, and all around great type of gal. In every episode, we're going to dive into practical tips, insightful strategies, and mindset shifts to help you DIY a brand that not only attracts your ideal audience, but also aligns with your vision and your goals. So let's dive into today's episode, which is called Unconventional Branding, 5 Unique Strategies to Stand Out. So let's get into it. The first way that you can go against the grain and actually create a brand that stands out from the crowd is to leverage your quirks. So one of the most powerful ways to stand out is to embrace those things that make you different, even the things you think are weird or unpolished. So this one is probably going to be a little tough for some people because we are socialized, conditioned, raised to kind of reject or downplay or hide or even try to get rid of those things that make us different. As children have a way of finding any little thing about you that is even slightly different from everybody else and tease you about it or make you feel bad about it. And those same children grow up to be adults that do the same thing. And so it makes us want to hide the quirky things about ourselves. But people are looking for relatability. People are looking for something that seems real and authentic. And so when you are willing to show those things about you that they know most people would not want to show, it instantly wants to make them connect with you. So for example, maybe you have a really quirky sense of humor. Maybe you have a love for vintage design. I saw a young lady, a young Black lady in my news feed the other day. She wears only, I think, 1950s, like that vintage clothing from that time period. I think she makes her own clothes. And that is something quirky about her that makes her stand out. Maybe you have an obsession with sci-fi. Get rid of the idea that you cannot use those things, even if they are not inherently business related. You can use those quirks to your advantage to stand out. Don't hide it. Use it as a unique brand element. And it doesn't always have to be weird things. It can just be, like I said, loving sci-fi is not necessarily weird, but it's just something different about you that a lot of people don't share. That can be your unique standout quality. And as always, we have a Canva tip. You can create a set of fun branded graphics that highlight your quirks. So use Canva's illustration elements to incorporate playful visuals that match your vibe. And again, your quirks can also be, like for me, it's some aspects of my sense of style. As many of you know, I wear tons of different shades and frames. And I actually don't really use that much in my branding, but I'm going to start doing that and really highlighting it. Outside the fact that every time I come on here to do an episode of Purposeful Presence, I probably have a different pair on, but I need to work that into my branding more. I need to really think about that. So this is actually a lesson for me as well. So incorporate those visuals into your branding, and that's what's going to make you stand out from the crowd. So use those quirks to your advantage. Don't try to hide them. Number 2 way that you can create a brand that stands out is to break the rules of your industry. Do not be afraid to go against traditional norms. So I'm about to actually, I won't say contradict something I said in a future episode, but I'm going to give context to some exceptions that might be at play that apply in this scenario that maybe didn't apply in that episode. I'll tell you what I mean in a second. So for example, if everyone in your industry uses muted professional colors, you can go bold and bright in your branding. So when I did my episode a few weeks back, I think about choosing brand colors, I said that choose brand colors that reflect what people kind of expect or what it is that you do. And one of the examples I used was maybe for attorneys or accountants or some of those other types of professions. A lot of times they're using the blues, the dark greens, the grays. And so those colors have come to be kind of relate or expected in those industries. And so when you put those colors there in your branding, it can tell people, hey, this is a person I can trust because, hey, they're not doing something outside the norm. However, if you are going to use again, we talked about your quirks. If you're going to use your uniqueness to your advantage, which I know you're going to because you're here to learn and you're writing this down in your notebook, if you're ready to go all in, this is the exception to the rule. If you're ready to go all in with breaking the rules of your industry, then it's fine. For example, if you want to be the attorney, like you don't love those dark, serious colors, right? You are more of the fun, vibrant attorney, or you want to be known as that, you've got to go all in. So it can't just be you put pinks and oranges on your website, but then when they have an experience with you, when they reach out, they get a very stoic experience, or your clothing is still very, traditional and maybe a little bit more serious. That's going to be confusing. Why do they have pink and orange as a brand color when everything else about them is not fun? What is the problem? That's going to make them distrust you. You got to go all the way. It's got to be every experience, the verbiage that you use, the way you talk to them, the way you interact has to match the pink and orange, for example. Okay. So I have a prime example of this. So the credit union that I bank with here in the Louisville area, Park Community, shout out, they recently went through a rebranding where now they have pink, oranges, and purples as their brand colors, coming from blues and very serious tones. They chose a very quirky font, and it's like a carnival when you go in there, and their branding is changing. The interesting thing is that this brand overhaul came right after they remodeled a bunch of their branches to have the browns and the blues that they had before, more traditional banking colors. So I've asked many people as I've gone in the bank on the credit union recently, what do you think about it? What's going to happen? Because everything looks kind of like the old branding, except for your signage and the debit cards and, your commercials and stuff, your website. Those are things that were easy to change. They said, we're going to have to go back through and overhaul our recent the decorating project they just went through. They're going to have to redo it because it no longer matches where they're going with their brand to reach a younger audience. And so they're going to do that. They're not going to leave it wasn't even so much serious in the back. It was more like a coffee house type of feel. I'm sure they'll keep that, but they'll have to bring in their new colors. But they're breaking the rules of their industry. You don't expect a bank to have pink, orange, and purple as their colors. You don't expect it to be fun. Nobody thinks about that. I don't need my bank to be fun. I just need them to get my money right. But that's what they're doing. They're breaking the rules of their industry, and they are going to reap great rewards, I believe, for doing that, because they are going outside of the norm and they are breaking with tradition. The third way that you can create a brand that stands out is to tell unexpected stories. So I use a lot of stories and examples in just creating this podcast. Storytelling is a game changer. If you've ever looked on social media, there are so many people who have built their platform, their channel around telling stories, not even news stories. It's not breaking news. They'll be telling historical stories that were in the news. They'll be describing things that have happened in movies, but they tell it in a way that is very interesting and engaging. Storytelling is one of the great traditions of just the human experience and interacting with humans. Here's the thing. The unexpected stories that you're going to tell may make you a little bit uncomfortable, but that's okay. Put it in the chat and say, I'm ready to be uncomfortable. Put that in the chat. I'm ready to be uncomfortable. They want to hear, and you need to share the messy middle, the failures, the funny moments behind the scenes. Some of the most engaged videos that I have on the internet, and I'm always recording, are not even these podcast episodes yet. It's the ones where I'm showing myself getting dressed to go walk outside. I put a lot of clothes on because it's cold. Well, right now it's not cold, but it's been cold over the last few weeks. Showing that, or showing me at a coffee shop, or showing a day in the life, or showing me, doing something, designing, and showing the behind the scenes of me doing some design work or planning an event. Those do the best. People want to see those behind the scenes moments and even your failures. When we said the messy middle, it's what's happening in between when you started, which we're often ready to show the start. Yeah, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing A, B, and C. And then you get to the end and you actually do A, B, and C, but they want to see the middle. What really happened? People are looking for relatability. People are looking for a human experience. They don't want to see it all perfect because, first of all, that makes them, believe it or not, yes, people want to engage with a polished brand because it does build trust. But on the other hand, because people are so used to having access to the brands and the people behind the brands that they do business with, they also want to see the human element. So you have to balance the two. You don't want your stuff to just be unprofessional in the name of being relatable, but you want to make sure that you show the human element, even as you're showing them your professional journey. So that one actually reminds me. So every Christmas season, I do a Black Christmas movie marathon. Great tradition. If you don't do it, do it. Okay. I just watch all kinds of Christmas movies with an all black cast or mostly black cast. And I just let the algorithm tell me what to watch next and what to watch next. And one of my favorite series is a series that stars Kelly Rowland, all about the Little family, right? It's about how she met the love of her life. Then they got married. Then they had a baby. It's a great series. If you haven't watched it, watch it next year at Christmas time. But in the first episode, and it's not even episodes, these are movies. But in the first movie, there's something, I'm not going to get in all the details, but there's something going on where a film crew is going to be coming to look at her Christmas dinner, or is it Thanksgiving? No, it's Christmas dinner. And it's supposed to be all perfect. She's decorated and done all this stuff, and her family shows up and they ruin everything. The kids tear stuff up, the dog tears stuff up, the adults tear stuff up, and then the film crew shows up and they show this crazy moment and she's mortified. Turns out it went viral. People loved it because it was relatable. It was the thing that made them resonate with her brand. If I'm not mistaken, she owned her own company or something. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. It all worked out in the end, like all the Christmas movies do. But the point is the messy middle. Do not be afraid to show what's not working, to tell them when things aren't going well. Nobody believes the story when you say everything went from 0 to 100 with no detours, no setbacks. People inherently don't believe that because they know that's not how life is. So tell unexpected stories, such as what's really going on behind the scenes, or even your success. Your failures that you actually leverage into lessons. Because I don't believe in failure. I believe you just learn, right? Show those moments to your people. And in Canva, you can create an Instagram carousel that will walk your audience through a story visually. You can use images, you can use captions and quotes. People love scrolling through a carousel in Instagram. I am people. I love that. It's a quick way to get a story that can't be told in just one image or one clip. It's a great way to get a story, and they get a lot of engagement. So Instagram carousels, get into those. Okay. The fourth way that you can create a unique or unconventional branding experience is to collaborate in unexpected ways. So team up with people or brands that are outside of your regular circle. So again, I do branding and social marketing. I teach Canva, and I'm also helping people with writing their own books, right? So it would seem natural that I would link up with people in those spaces that are complementary to what I do, the parts of it that I don't do. For example, my clients in my membership, they're going to get a financial expert or a tax expert, or those type of things that are kind of complementary. What they don't expect is for me to hook up with somebody that decorates cookies, or somebody that owns a restaurant, or somebody that creates a style brand. Even though I love branding, I love styles. I love style. I can't even talk. I love style, what you wear and all that, but you normally wouldn't think of a marketing person that's teaching people how to elevate their brand assets and their graphics to hook up with somebody that makes clothes. But why not? Right? Why not? So if you're a health coach, you can collaborate with a local coffee shop to create some type of pop-up event. Tomorrow and next Tuesday, today's Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday, February the 4th, and then on February the 11th, I will be doing the first two parts of my local pop-up book tour at Black Coffee in West Louisville. And I hope you can be there. If you are in the area, please come and meet me and get a copy of my book. But I did not create that collaboration with Black Coffee. They were already planning to do this for Black History Month. However, I am collaborating in that I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my book signings and sell my products and offer coaching and things of that nature at the coffee shop. Now, for a lot of people, coffee shops and small business ownership kind of go hand in hand, but I'm just giving you that as an example of doing something that doesn't seem to be the regular way that you get to your people, but that can be the best way to get to your people. Design co-branded event flyers or social graphics using Canva's partnership templates. Did you know Canva has partnership templates? Templates that are designed for two businesses that aren't really related to co-brand an event and experience that can be so dynamic, and it's going to pull a different type of audience because it's going to pull a mixture of both of their audiences. And if there's any crossover, which there probably will be between both audiences, both brands get to benefit from that. So I actually have some unique and unexpected collaborations on the horizon for this quarter, hopefully, definitely for this year. So be on the lookout for those. Who can you collaborate with? I want to give you a challenge. I want to give you a challenge that think about any business that you patronize or that a friend of yours owns or whatever that may look like. And think about, instead of saying, I can't collaborate with them, we don't do anything alike, just say, we're going to collaborate anyway. I don't know. Let's say you own an auto mechanic business. I don't know. I'm making stuff up now. An auto mechanic business and your friend has a clothing brand. Don't say, because that's so different, we can't collaborate. Just say, we're going to, I don't know, we're going to do a pop-up trunk show at the auto shop because it's a venue. Bring your car, get a discount on your oil change and shop while you wait. Who knows? There's no two businesses that can't collaborate if you get creative. We are looking to stand out, not blend in. So don't think about just the regular complementary brands you can collaborate with. Think about the ones that you would never think about collaborating with and find a way. And then the fifth way that you can create a brand that stands out using unconventional strategies is to create experiences, not just products. And I've already kind of alluded to this idea as I've talked earlier in this episode, but it can run the gamut. The sky is the limit of what you can do to create experiences. You want people, they say, they say people never forget what you told them, but they can forget what you told them, but they never forget how you made them feel. I can't even talk today. That happens every Monday, doesn't it? Hey, I'm showing you behind the scenes. That's why I stream my podcast live. If I was doing this pre-recorded, I'd be starting over and trying to be perfect. When you're live, you can't do that. So here we are. Anywho, create experiences. People will never forget how you made them feel. So I have a book that I just published, right? Breaking Through Startup Stories from Trailblazing Black Women Entrepreneurs. Instead of just bringing it to market and saying, hey, here's our webpage. Hey, it's also on Amazon. Buy the book. That's kind of boring. We created a book launch celebration. Many people have a book launch. We had an in-person and a live stream event. There were things you could do. There was food. There were people. It was a whole big thing. We had it last week to create an experience. People will never forget that experience that they had at our book launch celebration. And by the way, the recording is on my YouTube channel. I am Coach MJ, if you want to check that out. But you can host a live workshop, an interactive webinar, or exclusive events that are only open to a limited number of people. You just have to find your audience. And you can use Canva to design stunning event invitations, digital tickets, or webinar slide decks. Canva does everything. There's not a whole lot that Canva does not do. So I'm going to tell you at the end how you can find out more about what Canva can do for you. But this month, I am launching my brand and social marketing membership where students will have the opportunity every month, sometimes week after week, to design their brand and marketing assets along with me. So I'm talking about creating an experience. It won't just be I tell you what to do or I give you a video lesson to watch and you just do it on your own. Or we're going to be in real time getting feedback, making tweaks, doing it, kind of in a co-working environment, but with a professional that can tell you, hey, that's not it. Here's what we do to make it different, right? That's what we're going to be doing in the membership along with other things, right? The hands-on experience is far more engaging than just a typical want kind of lecture style of teaching, right? So create experiences. How can you, speaking of cookie decorating, a friend of mine who is a cookie baker, she is a cookie artist. She also has cookie decorating classes. She has one coming up for, I believe, parents and children. I know she has couples experiences as well. Because otherwise, it's just cookies. You can buy cookies at the store, but you can't get her cookies, and you can't learn how to decorate them and have a unique experience, right? People are interested in experiences, even with, like, think about travel. How much more exciting is it, and how much more would you pay if somebody planned everything else, all the excursions, and they sold it to you in a way where you could literally hear and feel and smell and taste the travel experience before you even get there? Of course, you're going to pay more for that than just you on Hotwire trying to book your own stuff. Same thing. Create experiences and not just products. So unconventional branding is not about just being different for the sake of being different. Okay. It's about being authentic to you and finding creative ways to connect with your audience by leveraging your quirks, those things that you want to sweep under the rug. We're not going to do that. By breaking industry rules. Don't do what everybody in your industry does. Do the opposite, but you got to go all in with it, okay? By telling unexpected stories, that behind the scenes, the messy middle, the failures. People are not, there's always going to be people that judge you, but heck, when you don't show it, people are judged. You can't worry about them. But the people that matter are going to appreciate you showing those stories by collaborating in creative ways. Challenge yourself to reach out and collaborate with all kinds of people. Don't decide that my brand won't match theirs. Find a way. And you're going to find that unique audience that's unique only to you. And by creating unforgettable experiences instead of just products, you will build a brand that stands out for all of the right reasons and not the wrong ones. And so if you are ready to elevate your branding game, you're the consummate DIY business owner. You got the courage, the determination to do things yourself. Maybe you're starting out, maybe you've got a couple team members, but you're still wanting to kind of keep your hands in the brand because it's still growing and you want to make sure it's done right, but you don't know how, you don't have the eye for it, you don't have a lot of time to learn it. Don't miss my Canva Flyer Masterclass, where I'm going to teach you how to design flyers that pop, right? They're going to look incredible. They're going to look like an expert did them, right? Because you're going to have me showing you every step of the way. But it's also going to communicate your brand's magnetic message, especially if you do all the things we just talked about to create a brand that stands out. So go to melaniehunter.com/Canva to register for my upcoming masterclass on flyers. Now, we say it's flyers, but it's really about all those social graphics. It's going to be your social media headers. It's going to be, your Instagram graphics. All of that falls under the header of the Canva Flyer Masterclass. You're going to learn some stuff about design, some stuff about branding, stuff about how to do things in bulk. We're going to hit on a lot of different topics that relate to making your brand pop. So again, melaniehunter.com/Canva is where you need to go to sign up for that. And I want you to go to melaniehunter.com, my homepage, and grab my free guide, 5 instant flyer design fixes that will help you to tweak the flyers you already have. You know how you sometimes look at your flyers and you're like, mine never quite look like theirs. And that's because it's missing a lot of the key elements of good design that's going to make your stuff stand out and reflect the professionalism that you deserve. Go to melaniehunter.com, download that free guide, 5 instant flyer design ideas, and then go to the Canva page and sign up for my masterclass. It's going to be amazing. So let's get creative and build a brand that truly matters. I'm so excited for the rest of 2025. I can't believe the first month is already over. This year is flying. Stay with me. Be sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with somebody, and let's go ahead and get these brands elevated so you can start attracting the customers and opportunities you